Everyone expects you to be strong. You're the one people call when they're falling apart. The one they lean on when life gets hard. The one who always has it together. You're the rock, the steady one, the strong one. And you've worn that label for so long, you've forgotten you're allowed to be anything else. But here's what nobody sees. You're exhausted. Exhausted from holding everyone else up while you're barely standing. Exhausted from being the answer to everyone else's problems while your own pile up. Exhausted from smiling through your own pain because everyone needs you to be okay. You're the strong one, so you can't break. You can't fall apart. You can't admit you're struggling, because if you do, who will hold everyone else together? Let's be honest about where you are right now. You're going through something. Maybe it's grief. Maybe it's loss. Maybe it's a crisis that's tearing you apart on the inside. But on the outside, you're fine. You have to be fine, because everyone is watching. Everyone is depending on you. Everyone needs you to be strong. So you show up. You smile. You encourage. You carry other people's burdens while your own are crushing you. And nobody asks if you're okay, because you're always okay. You're the strong one. They don't see the nights you cry yourself to sleep. They don't see the panic attacks in the bathroom. They don't see how close you are to breaking, because you've gotten really good at hiding it. You've perfected the mask, the "I'm fine" face, the calm voice even when you're screaming inside, the steady presence even when you're falling apart. And you're angry. Angry that nobody sees through it. Angry that everyone just assumes you're okay. Angry that strength has become your prison. Because when you're the strong one, people don't check on you. They don't ask how you're doing. Not really. They don't offer help because they assume you don't need it. And maybe you've convinced them too well. Maybe you've been so strong for so long that they genuinely believe nothing breaks you. But something is breaking you. And you're terrified of what happens if you admit it. Because if you break, everything breaks. If you fall apart, who will hold your family together? Who will be the stable one at work? Who will be the friend everyone leans on? If you're not strong, who are you? That's the question that terrifies you most. Because your identity has become wrapped up in being the strong one. It's how people see you. It's how you see yourself. And if you're not that anymore, if you admit you're weak, you don't know who you'll become. So you keep going, keep pretending, keep being strong even though it's killing you. But here's what nobody tells you about strength. Real strength includes the ability to be weak. Real strength is admitting when you can't carry it anymore. Real strength is asking for help. Real strength is saying, "I'm not okay," when everyone expects you to be. The world has sold you a lie. That strength means never breaking, never crying, never struggling, never needing anyone. But that's not strength. That's just pride disguised as resilience. Because the strongest thing you can do right now is admit you're not strong enough, that you can't do this alone, that you need help, that you're human. But you're scared. Scared of disappointing people, scared of looking weak, scared of losing your place as the person everyone depends on, scared that if you stop being strong, people will stop needing you. And if they stop needing you, maybe they'll stop wanting you around. So you carry it all. The grief, the pain, the crisis, the weight of everyone else's problems on top of your own. And you're drowning. But you're drowning quietly, so nobody panics. Let me tell you something you need to hear. You don't have to be strong right now. I know that feels wrong. I know it feels like giving up. I know it feels like weakness. But it's not. Weakness is pretending you're okay when you're not. Weakness is refusing help because you're too proud to admit you need it. Weakness is breaking in silence because you're too afraid to break in front of people. Strength is honesty. Strength is vulnerability. Strength is saying, I can't do this alone. And you don't have to. You've been carrying this by yourself because you think that's what strong people do. But strong people also know when to put the weight down, when to ask for help, when to admit they're human. You've been grieving alone, processing alone, struggling alone, because you don't want to burden anyone, because everyone has their own problems, because you're supposed to be the strong one. But grief shared is grief lightened. Pain acknowledged is pain validated. Struggle spoken is struggle that can be helped. You can't heal what you won't reveal. And you've been hiding for so long that you've forgotten what it feels like to be seen. Really seen. Not as the strong one. Not as the person who has it together, but as the person who's barely holding on. Here's what you need to understand. People wanting you to be strong and you needing to be weak are not incompatible. You can be the person people depend on and still need someone to depend on yourself. You can be strong for others and still fall apart in private. You can be the rock and still need someone to hold you when you crumble. But you have to let them. You have to let people in. You have to stop pretending you're invincible, because pretending is exhausting, and eventually, pretending breaks you worse than honesty ever could. So what do? Stop performing strength. Start practicing honesty. The next time someone asks if you're okay, tell the truth. Not the, I'm fine, you've rehearsed. The real truth. Actually, I'm really struggling right now. It will feel vulnerable. It will feel scary. It will feel like weakness. But watch what happens. Watch how people respond when you give them permission to see you as human. Most people want to help. They just didn't know you needed it. Because you've been so convincing. Stop carrying alone. Start asking for help. You don't have to figure this out by yourself. You don't have to process this alone. You don't have to be strong enough to handle everything. Ask someone to pray with you. Ask someone to sit with you. Ask someone to help carry what you're carrying. Not because you're weak, but because you're wise enough to know you need community. Stop hiding your grief. Start honoring it. If you're grieving, grieve. If you're hurting, hurt. If you're falling apart, fall apart. You don't have to be strong through everything. Some things are meant to break you, and that's okay. Grief is not a weakness to overcome. It's a process to honor. And you can't honor it if you're too busy pretending it doesn't exist. Stop fearing what people will think. Start caring what God thinks. God doesn't need you to be strong. He already is. He doesn't need you to have it all together. He already does. He doesn't need you to be the rock for everyone. He already is the rock. What he wants is your honesty, your vulnerability, your broken, struggling, barely holding on heart. Because that's when his strength shows up. Not when you're strong, when you're weak. Paul said, "When I am weak, then I am strong." Not because weakness is strength, but because in weakness, God's strength is made perfect. You've been trying to be strong in your own power, and it's exhausting because human strength has limits, and you've reached yours. But God's strength doesn't, and it's available to you the moment you stop trying to manufacture your own. You are allowed to not be okay. Read that again. You are allowed to not be okay. You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to struggle. You're allowed to admit you're barely holding on. You're allowed to be human, fragile, breakable, in need. Being the strong one doesn't mean never being weak. It means being strong enough to admit when you are. So if you're reading this and you're exhausted from being strong, hear me. You can rest. You can break. You can fall apart. You can admit you're not okay. And the people who truly love you will not be disappointed. They will be honored that you finally trusted them enough to be honest. The people who only valued you for your strength were never really seeing you anyway. And God, He's not surprised. He's not disappointed. He's not angry that you're struggling. He's been waiting for you to stop pretending, waiting for you to bring Him your real self, not the strong version you think He wants. Because He doesn't need your strength. He wants your heart, and your heart is breaking. So let it break in front of Him, in front of people who love you, in front of the ones who've been waiting for permission to help you. You don't have to be strong anymore. You just have to be honest. And sometimes, that's the strongest thing you can do.